We're still in Psalm 1, and I'll just say it again because, yeah, well, because I want to. Psalms is not in chapters. Psalms is a book of poems. So what we're looking at is the first poem. And we talked about the dark side, the wicked, the sinners, the mockers. And then the bright side, which is those who delight in the law of the Lord and who meditate on his law day and night. We talked about what that can look like, and my question is, so what does that look like? What does it look like when I live my life according to God's design? In my relationships, in my integrity, in my worship, in all of my life. And then last time we talked about the word picture that the psalmist uses here. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. I talked about how life comes to us in seasons. There are just the spring, summer, winter. Actually, I think summer, fall, and then winter. We go through that almost like there are seasons within seasons. It's worth thinking about, but probably not worth me making a big deal over right now. Just the concept, though. Our lives are seasonal. And there are times, there are seasons in our lives that are more, comfortable than other seasons. There are seasons where we have less adversity and where things work better. There are times when things don't work because we're not observing God's design. And then there are times that things don't work because that's what happens in this season of life. Like, I'll give you a quick example is this moving thing. I just really am so grateful for all the people who pitched in and helped make it possible for us to get moved. I still hate moving. I love the people, and I love that God has provided, and we love, resettling here in Las Vegas. But man, the move, I just hate it. I had a friend wrote on my Facebook, move is a 4-letter word. It's hard. It's physically taxing as well as emotionally taxing. Well, some of our stuff was heavy. And so when I was even 50, maybe not so much 60, but even 50 years old, these heavy things I could do, and it didn't, I might be a little sore, but no, at 69, heavy things, I just can't do it anymore. Things don't work that used to work, and part of that is because I'm in a season. When you're 69, I don't care what the Facebook ads are telling you, that you can be 70 years old and buff like a 30-year-old. I've never seen it. And I don't even want to be buff like a 30-year-old. I just want to be a fit 69-year-old. But the limits are there. There's certain seasons of our life where we have limits. It might be due to our age. It could be due to a chronic health condition. It could be due to the age of our children or the age of our parents. See, certain seasons produce some discernible, identifiable, specific challenges. And other seasons are less challenging. Okay, seasons. Got it. What season are you in your life right now? And there is a season within the season. I think I'm in at least the fall. I don't know that I'm in the winter yet, but within the fall of my life, I'm in a season of, first of all, recovery from the physicality and the emotionality of this move thing. So there's a recovery issue. I am in a season of grieving, giving up patterns and habits and even associations that I had and were comfortable before, and now re-engaging with old friends and putting myself in a position to encounter new people. Okay, I guess what I'm saying is we're always going through seasons, and I think always there's a season within the season. Okay, well, I love that this psalmist, he offers hope. And the hope is in this, that our lives yield fruit in season. What is the fruit of my life in this season? Well, first of all, there's some seasons of life that are more fruitful than others. I'm pretty sure, though, that when we steward our lives well, we will be able to produce some form of fruit in every season of our lives. Now, well, you know this, but it's worth me saying. There are some seasons of life where the kind of fruit is sometimes almost invisible, even to ourselves, but certainly to other people. If a person is going through a physical recovery from a serious physical illness or medical condition, and I can remember when I was recovering from my heart attack, there was about nearly a 3-month period where I could hardly get from the bed to the couch to the bathroom back to the bed. Not very much fruit, visible fruit in that. And at the time, it didn't feel like my life was bearing any kind of fruit at all. But I look back on it, and now I can harvest some things. And they're not big, huge things. I did have one aha. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But it's not like my fruit was, well, just look at all this. This can be frustrating and disconcerting because I think all of us want to be able, well, first of all, I think all of us, God wired us to be productive, to bear fruit from our lives. When I don't feel productive, when I don't feel that I'm bearing fruit, this is just me, but I don't live my best life. That's me. I don't know about you, but I want to. I don't want to be driven by it, but I do want to be motivated to bear fruit for God. This is an idea that's all the way through the Bible. sometimes the constraints of a season make bearing fruit almost invisible. I've said it. You know this. And in those kinds of seasons, often I don't even see the fruit until I can reflect on the season as I'm coming out of it. This was a season within a season for me. I look back on it. Just because I think it's valid and can be useful, one of the big fruit that was born in my life in that season within the season when I was confronted, first of all, with my mortality, which is a little bit ugly, and secondly, with limitations that I had never experienced before. And one of the fruit that came out of that is me realizing for myself how much of my life I had spent in a hurry. Now, hurry is not a sin, but here's the aha for me, and I think of it as fruit from that season. I came to realize when you're in a hurry, for me, it's impossible for me to be truly grateful and in a hurry. So much of my life had been my pattern, my habits were hurry, hurry, hurry. But some of it is I'm a short person, and almost everybody I know is taller than me. And to keep up, I had to hurry, right? When I was in youth ministry for 17 years, it was always I just always felt like I'm a week behind. I'm a month behind. I'm always behind. And part of that was I didn't know how to plan well. So everything was, that, and oh my gosh, that. So then as I began to mature, I started planning better, but I still felt this pressure to hurry. And I'll tell you, the place that it showed up most often was when I was driving. The speed limit was always about 5 to 10 miles an hour too slow to meet this urge in me to hurry. When I was recovering from my heart attack, number one, I couldn't hurry, and number two, there was nothing to hurry for, because I didn't have this commitment overloaded schedule in life. We left for whatever we needed to go do, and there weren't very many of those things. We left with plenty of time to get there, so we didn't even have to hurry. But, and during that time, because I wasn't in a hurry, I was able to reflect on the goodness and provision of God, and I was much more grateful, intentionally grateful. Recently, in fact, this week, driving on the freeways here in Las Vegas, I realized the speed of life on the freeways here has ignited that urge to hurry. And I have made it my goal. I will choose to not hurry. Well, because that's part of the pattern that keeps me from being a grateful person. The last part of this idea is that this person, you and me, whatever they do prospers, really? I mean, is that this? We got to come back to that. See you next time on Soul Care with Stevie Boy.